What up, what up, what up? This is, I guess, a video to Scooby Doo, sorry. Um, I just watched the video of him talking about Og, and he's frustrated with Og, and, I guess doesn't quite understand him. Um, I wanted to make this video, I guess. The fuck? Really? Pee on the chair? You had to pee on the chair, huh? You had to. But anyway, um, I've known Og since shit. Way before he was doing his videos. Way before any talking about any of this cloning shit, any of that shit. I mean, I just wanted to give a perspective. That's all I'm trying to do. Because Scoob said that, he's like a fucking robot, and, he acts like he's high, or I can't remember what the fuck he said. Higher than, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like he's above everybody, and yada, yada, yada. And I've I've known Og since the days where we used to fucking terrorize the fucking neighborhood and we used to, I mean, to the point where, kids, you do stupid shit. We used to fucking throw crab apples and shit at cars, and just being fucking, just terrorizing, I guess. Just doing kid shit, fucking ding dong ditching and all that shit. And I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is just to show that he's a normal, well, he's not normal kid, but he's a normal kid in the sense of, I grew up with him. I grew up with his family. I know his family very well. I know him very well. I agree, and I understand what you say when you're saying that, it's hard to understand him, and he just comes off wrong or negative, and I felt that way, shit, probably 5 years ago, because I used to hang out with him every day. I'd go to work, and then I'd either go straight to his house after work, or I'd go home, do whatever I had to do, and then go over there and hang out with him to talk about cloning, talk about ideas and shit like that, and that's what we would do. I do understand where you're coming from, but coming from a person who knows Og and has been there before all this, he's a good dude. I know a lot of people probably can't see that, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's that's completely fine. The problem that I see with Og is that maybe it's not really even a problem. It's more so how he gets to people, and how he I guess reacts or replies to people. It comes off weird or negative, whatever the case is. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, you got to understand, he's the type of dude who, if you go to him and ask him about, hey, am I in cloning, or hey, what's this, or hey, why are they doing this? He's not going to be the person to just straight up tell you. He's going to give it to you in some weird way, or maybe not even reply at all. He does this to me all the time. And what I've learned is that by him just giving you the answers, it doesn't help you or him. because we have to go through a certain process of waking up and learning it on our own. Because if we're just being told this shit and being told to, hey, believe it, it doesn't work. Essentially, it doesn't give us that light, I guess, that he's intending it to give. um I hope this shit makes some fucking sense. But I guess all I'm trying to say is that he's a good dude. I felt this the way that you feel, Scoob, um, years ago, and I had a falling out with him because it was, you know, I'd go there, we'd fucking talk, and then I'd say something, and then we'd get to fucking arguing, and to the point where, I mean, it was literally to the point where if I didn't leave, we were gonna fight each other, and I knew that it was wrong to get it to go that far. So I always left, you know. Um, but in the back of my mind, I always knew that that the tension was always gonna leave, and everything was gonna be good because that's just the way he is. He's a very, very, very intelligent, high IQ person, and a lot of times with people who have high IQs, you know, they don't. He's very outspoken when it comes to information, but when it comes to a necessary, I mean, not necessary, but a friendship or just shooting the shit, he doesn't shoot the shit. He gets right to the point. He's it's always about the information. It's always about the information because he sees no other way of but to get the shit out and for people to wake up. Because as far as from what I know, you know, talking about everyday things that, like, you know, materials, or for instance, like you said, Pokemon. I guess he looks at that as programming. You know, it's another thing that's going to keep you entertained and distracted from maybe necessarily learning something new that you never learned before. Now, I'm not knocking you for wanting to play Pokemon or video games or whatever anybody out there wants to do. Um, but when you look at it in a sense of it's a distraction and it's going to keep you away from certain information, you know, it's I don't know, you just look at it different. But um I feel like a lot of people take him or take his just take him the wrong way. um and I just wanted people to know that I've known the kid way before this YouTube shit. I was there when he made his first video. I was there when he made his second video, third video, and on. You know, I even told him, I said, just watch, dude. A year from now, just wait. A year from now, it's gonna take off, and you're gonna have your own little, you know, your own little thing going on. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Um, when all those throughout all those times that, you know, he was researching and doing this and doing that, we were hanging out. We were talking about shit. I was giving him, you know, the info that I understood. Um, and he would take it with a grain of salt because he didn't necessarily understand where I was coming from. But I always told him, I said, no matter what happens, you know, love and positivity is always the answer. Because what the fuck is the point of being negative, you know? And he never understood that until maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago. And because I remember seeing videos of him actually saying that, you know, we must become more loving and in a loving state, uh, and not want to hurt people. And we got to look at this whole idea of what they're doing as a test to push us to wake up, because if we don't get pushed, we're all just gonna fucking go back to sleep, and humanity is not gonna be here. At least it's from what I get, from what I understand. Um, I just I don't blame you, Scoob, for feeling the way that you do, because I felt the same way years ago. And yes, his information is fucking boring as all hell, and it seems like it's, you know, useless in some ways and helpful in other ways. But if you're able to silence the chatter in your head and silence the your emotion and just listen to his videos, it makes a lot more sense. Um, I've always known Og to be to have difficulty with emotion and expressing emotion to other people, especially his friends and stuff like that. Well, and it wasn't always like that. Some days, he'd be laughing and funny and joking all, and then other days he's completely serious and doesn't want to joke at all. I think it's just the person that he is, and I don't know. It just I just don't want people to get the wrong idea about him, because like I said, I've known him since he was a kid. I mean, we're not that far apart in age, but we are apart in age a little bit. Um, he's got good information. He speaks about good shit. What I don't understand is why, and this is not you, Scoob, but everybody else that thinks he's fucking weird, or I don't know, wild for what he's talking about, or a robot, or whatever the case is. Like, we also got to remember, we don't know what he's gone through. We don't know what kind of programming, what kind of torture he's been through. And ultimately, we just don't know what kind of life he lived. I got a glimpse of it because I was a part of his life in the earlier days before all this, and gave me a little bit more of an understanding of who he is as a person and what his aim is. And we've gone through some crazy shit, you know what I mean? From fucking taking LSD to at this high school, essentially at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, watching shit fly through the sky, and watching craft fly through the sky, shit contacting and connecting with us, and watching fucking, come on, go, to watching 50, 60 asteroids, or whatever you want to call them, blow up in the sky like fucking fireworks. And to the point where he said that we boarded a craft one night that I personally don't remember, because I don't know, a lot of those nights I was pushing myself to I don't know if it was to scare myself or whatever it was, but there was nights where I've lost myself and it felt like I disappeared off of this earth, and then would reappear, and then disappear, reappear. And I learned a lot about myself, and coming in contact with, I guess, other spiritual things. He's a good dude, man. He really is. I believe that wholeheartedly. It's just hard and complicated to fully understand him, and I don't fully understand him completely either, you know. And I was physical friends with him for quite some time. But ultimately, I don't think he's a bad dude. I think his intentions are positive. Um, I just think yes, he could come about talking a certain way, and and I guess to resonate with us a little bit better. But once again, he looks at it like I guess he looks at it like there's no reason to um I don't know, to be how everybody wants him to be. You know, he's gonna be himself. Um, and it is hard to talk to him because it's difficult to understand him. Because yes, he uses fucking long sentences and big words and jumbles them all together to the point where you gotta fucking dissect every goddamn word to understand what the fuck he's trying to say. But once you get past that, you'll understand what he's doing. You'll understand that he's doing this for a fucking reason, and his intentions are clear as far as pushing everyone to think and to open their mind and whatever else comes with it. And I guess at this point I'm fucking running out of words to say, but I just wanted to make this video in response to Scoob's video. And this isn't an attack or a negative video or a video of me, I don't know. It's just a video. I just wanted to respond because I woke up and seen the video, and I had to watch it because I know Og personally, you know, and if he was still here, I'd still be hanging out with him, but he isn't. And I just wanted to give people a perspective of somebody who actually knows him to maybe help relieve any kind of, I don't know, confusion or anything about him. But that's it. Peace.